Hello everybody, I'm Nicolas Sarnac, here we on IJTV. Today in your special TV news program, we will talk about Scottish football, and more particularly we will see an amazing report on Celtic Glasgow supporters. But before that, it's the analysis of Christopher Bruet. Hi Chris.
Hi Nicolas.
You're here to speak and explain to us what Celtic Glasgow represents.
Yes, of course. A song, a crowd, plays on field, and a great communion. Every match, it's the same show at Celtic Park. Something mystical which characterizes a club, the Celtic Glasgow. But I have so many things to say to you about this institution because it's one. But I'll try to be short. In order to explain and to understand what Celtics represents, we have to go 124 years ago. On November the 6th of 1887, an Irish clergyman, Brother Wilfrid, decided to create a football club in order to reach two goals. The first one is to fight against the poverty in eastern quarters in Glasgow where lived Irish immigrants, and the second to help this population in order to better integrate the Scottish society. This is one of the reasons which explains the extraordinary popularity of Celtic Glasgow. But Celtic Glasgow is more than that. Indeed, the first British football club winning the European Champions Cup goes beyond football. It's a way to be, a family. It's a symbol of pride and strength. This is also about religion, and Celtic Glasgow is about religion, and this is the most important point for those who support the Celtic Glasgow. From the beginning, Celtic Glasgow is the guarantor of Catholics and Irish people's identity in Scotland, a country which is Protestant. For those reasons, Celtic Glasgow is more than a club. Yesterday, there were 25,000 supporters who came to watch the Cup's final against Queen's Park. Today, there are more than 60,000 supporters singing at Celtic Park. A proof that Celtic is more than a club, an institution which will never walk alone.
Thanks, Chris. Since its climax at the end of the 60s, Celtic Glasgow has been going through a big decline. Although Celtic is not qualified in Champions League and has been waiting for a Scottish title for 4 years. One thing belongs to the club, its great history and its supporters. On 20th of October, Celtic Glasgow travelled to France to play an European League match against Stade Rennais. Our team was at Stade de la Route de Lorient for this match.
The city of Rennes has certainly never known this atmosphere. The buses were not able to circulate between the 2,000 Celtic supporters who did the trip in Brittany. Another strong demonstration to prove again that the Celtic Glasgow has one of the best public in the football world. Supporters like Mark or Teddy don't have any difficulty to explain their passion.
When I was born, Mum and Dad took me through the club, and terrific. Mum's Scottish. My dad's Irish, and at the end of the day, it's terrific. This is a fantastic club.
Celtic Glasgow are more than a club, they're one of the best supported clubs in the world, all over the world, it's well supported, everyone loves Celtic, great travelling support.
And basically, we're the best fans ever.
There you go, best fans ever.
In every pub, in every stadium, Celtic supporters are united, no matter your origin, if you are wearing your white and green jersey.
The club represent a family, everyone together, well supported, everyone is a family here, no trouble, brilliant, Celtic fans.
If you see so many Irish flags, it's because Celtics fans are Catholics. That's also the origin of the historical problem with their Protestant rival, the Glasgow Rangers. A difficult subject for Celtics fans.
No. We have passion, hate them. No.
No Rangers?
No, just Celtic.
Boo! Boo! No like Glasgow Rangers, boo! Everyone hates them. Boo. Rubbish. Glasgow Rangers, they asked me. Boo. Boo. Nah, boo.
After each game, even after this drawn match against Rennes, players will thank their fans for all their encouragement. The midfielder Beram Kayal is aware of this extraordinary passion around his team.
Sometimes when we play and we play not the top, the same every game, and you feel the pressure for the fans, pressure is positive pressure to wake up the team. And we feel that every game, every training, you know, when we finish the training, when we finish the game, when we meet the people in the street in Glasgow, you feel that.
As their supporters sing at the beginning of each game, Celtic players will never walk alone.
And to conclude this program, we will propose to you an interview with Matt Spiro, a specialist of Scottish football.
Hi Matthew.
Hello.
You work for Machine Sport in France, and you come from Great Britain.
Yep.
And it's a great honor for us to be here with you to talk about the Scottish football.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here and to have you here talking about Scottish football, because there isn't always that much interest in Scottish football at the moment in abroad, but it's still a very exciting and passionate game, I think, in Scotland.
Yeah. So we will talk about, as I say to you, about supporters. Yep. And about the passion. So first, I want to know, how do you appreciate the football in Scotland? How do you appreciate the football in Scotland and the amazing atmosphere in the stadium?
Well, it is still amazing, certainly for the big matches. You know, I think there isn't a better atmosphere in Europe than a Celtic Rangers game. You know, I've never been to River Plate against Boca Juniors. People tell me that's phenomenal, but the atmosphere, the passion in the stands at Ibrox or at Parkhead when those two play is unbelievable. For the rest of Scottish football, it's been a difficult period. About 5 or 6 years ago, the television broadcaster Setanta went bankrupt, and a lot of clubs in Scotland were in big financial difficulty. So the clubs that used to be very, very strong, that were getting into European Cup finals and even winning European Cups, like Aberdeen and Dundee United, they're struggling quite badly now. The level is not as high. As soon as there's a good player, they move to join Rangers or Celtic. So I think Scottish football has lost quite a lot of its atmosphere because of that. But still, for the big games and when Celtic or Rangers go and play, for example, Aberdeen or Hearts, it's always very good. Yeah.
And what can you say about this atmosphere for the old firm, for example, against the Celtic and the Rangers?
Well, I think it's difficult for people in France to understand what it's like, the intensity of it, because for people in Scotland, it's very much a way of life. It's not just a fact that there's this big culture of football, but it's whether we like it or not. It's a religious thing in Scotland. It's the Catholics against the Protestants. There's been a lot of trouble. There's a very tragic and bloody past involving the Irish and the Northern Irish, and that's caused a lot of issues. And unfortunately, it sometimes goes beyond sport, which is not good, which is sad. But the fact is, it's this rivalry, this passion, this strong link to these people's pasts that makes it such an intense rivalry. And in the weeks building up to an Old Firm game, I think the next one is on the 28th of December, and already every day in every newspaper there are articles talking about this, the smallest thing that might influence it. And unless you're there, you don't realise just how strong and important it becomes.
And it's still the same than before, even if they are less better, good player, even if they are going to other countries and other clubs, it's still the same passion for the fans.
Yeah, I mean, certainly for the Old Firm games, I think attendances have dropped slightly because, as you say, before, like in the 1990s, there were outstanding players. Rangers had, they bought people like Brian Laudrup, they bought Paul Gascoigne, who was the best player in England at the time. They could take the best players from the Premier League. So obviously the fact that they were among the best teams in Europe going head to head made it even more special. Today it's all about pride. The standard isn't bad of Rangers and Celtic, it's nowhere near what it was. But I think because of that rivalry, yes, it's still phenomenal. It's still phenomenal. It detracts a bit from the other games because Celtic are expected to win all their other games, and so are Rangers. But in terms of that specific rivalry, it remains very strong. Look, to be honest with you, Scottish football has gone through and is still going through something of a depression. I think they've had major financial problems. Rangers have got huge debts at the moment. The ticket pricing in the Scottish Premier League is much lower. It's much more affordable than in the English Premier League. So that's good. It means that Celtic are still getting 60,000 for all their home games. People are able to go along, but there's no longer the same vibrancy. I think in the smaller stadiums, no longer the same excitement that you used to get. You know, when Sir Alex Ferguson was at Pittodrie at the little Aberdeen Stadium, when he had some great players like Gordon Strachan who were part of the Aberdeen side. And if you look at that Aberdeen side from the 80s, all of the guys who played for Ferguson, they've all become coaches, and it was a great generation. And unfortunately, you don't really get that anymore. Aberdeen, as soon as they have a good player, they go to Rangers or Celtic now. So you know, the question is, what can Rangers or Celtic do? They've been trying for a long time to join the English League. That's what they would like to do, to have more competitive matches. That seems to be impossible. So there's been talk about a Northern League involving the best teams in sort of Denmark and Sweden. That Scotland can perhaps join a Scandinavian league, but it's obviously very, very complicated. But Scottish football's in a difficult situation at the moment.
Okay, so thank you for having answer my questions.
It's a pleasure.
Our questions, and so voilà.
Okay, and make sure that you watch all the Scottish football on Match and Sport, because the games are still very good.
Thank you for watching our TV program. See you next week.